Late afternoon heat pressed against the windows of Harbor Light Diner, a narrow place along the Savannah waterfront where ceiling fans turned slowly and the smell of fried shrimp and coffee floated through the room. Locals filled the booths, talking quietly while gulls cried outside over the river. At a corner table near the window sat Jack Mercer, broad-shouldered, calm, wearing a faded green military jacket. At his feet rested Rook, a disciplined Belgian Malinois whose amber eyes moved constantly, tracking every sound. Jack looked like a man enjoying a quiet meal, but the stillness around him hinted at years of training that never truly switched off. Behind a counter, Martha Lewis poured coffee with practiced rhythm, greeting regular customers by name. The bell above the diner door chimed softly, and Emily Harper stepped inside. She was 28, slender, with a careful posture and a white cane tapping gently against the tile floor. Her light brown hair was braided over one shoulder, and though she could not see the room, she carried herself with calm independence. Many people in the neighborhood knew her as the music teacher who helped children learn piano at the community center. Emily thanked Martha and accepted a cup of coffee before turning toward the aisle of booths. For a moment, everything felt ordinary. Then the door opened again, and loud voices spilled inside. Ryan Caldwell entered with two friends, expensive watch flashing beneath the diner lights. He was tall, confident, the son of one of the richest developers in the city, and he carried the careless smile of someone who believed rules rarely applied to him. His friends laughed too loudly at every joke. Ryan noticed Emily walking carefully past his table. A cruel idea appeared in his eyes. Without standing, he slowly stretched one polished shoe into the narrow aisle. The movement looked casual, almost accidental. Emily's next step caught the shoe. Her balance vanished. Coffee flew from her hand and shattered across the floor as she crashed onto the tiles. Gasps filled the diner, but Ryan's laughter rose above them, sharp and ugly. The white cane slid across the floor and stopped beneath his table. Emily reached blindly for it, trying to steady her breathing while humiliation burned through her chest. Ryan bent down, picked up the cane between his fingers, and smirked at his friends. Then he snapped it slowly. The crack of the broken cane echoed through the diner like a gunshot. Conversations died instantly. Even the ceiling fan seemed to hum more quietly. Emily froze on the floor, her hands hovering helplessly where the cane had been. For a moment she said nothing, fighting to keep her voice steady while the humiliation settled over her shoulders like weight. Ryan leaned back in his booth, clearly pleased with himself. His friends laughed again, though this time the sound was weaker, uncertain. They had expected embarrassment, maybe anger, but the silence that filled the diner felt different. At the window table, a chair scraped softly. Jack Mercer stood. He did not move quickly. He rose with the controlled calm of someone who never rushed when a situation required precision. The room seemed to shift as his full height unfolded, broad shoulders straightening, eyes settling calmly on Ryan. Beneath the table, Rook stood as well. The Belgian Malinois moved in one smooth motion, ears lifting, body alert but perfectly disciplined. He made no sound, yet the focused intensity in his amber eyes immediately erased the last laughter from Ryan's friends. Jack walked down the aisle and knelt beside Emily. "Are you hurt?" he asked quietly. His voice carried steady reassurance, nothing dramatic, just calm authority. Emily shook her head slightly, though her hands trembled as she tried to gather herself. Jack reached beneath Ryan's table and retrieved the two broken pieces of her cane. Ryan scoffed. "Relax, man. It was just a joke." Jack slowly straightened again, holding the broken cane. For the first time, Ryan actually looked at him. The calm in Jack's expression made the air feel heavier. "You tripped a blind woman," Jack said. Ryan shrugged. "So what? You gonna cry about it?" Before Jack could respond, Rook stepped forward beside him. The dog's posture changed subtly, shoulders squared, eyes fixed on Ryan. A deep growl rolled quietly through his chest. Not loud, but unmistakable. Ryan's smirk flickered. Jack rested a hand lightly on the dog's harness, never raising his voice. "You should apologize," he said. Ryan leaned back again, forcing confidence into his smile. "Or what?" Jack studied him for a moment. Then he spoke 4 words that made the entire table go silent. "I'm a Navy SEAL." Ryan's smile faded, but arrogance still pushed him forward. "Congratulations," he said mockingly. "You want a medal or something?" Jack didn't react. He simply helped Emily slowly to her feet while Rook remained beside them like a silent guard. Emily brushed her skirt nervously, clearly trying to regain composure. "Thank you," she whispered. Jack handed her the broken pieces of the cane. The room watched in silence. Ryan rolled his eyes. "You're making this way too dramatic." Jack finally turned fully toward him. His voice remained calm, but something in his tone had changed. "You think this is about drama?" he asked. Ryan shrugged again. "It's a diner accident." Jack reached into his jacket pocket and placed a small device on the table. A phone. The screen glowed softly. "Actually," Jack said, "it's evidence." Ryan frowned. "What?" Jack tapped the screen once. Ryan's own voice played back clearly from the recording. His laughter. His joke. The moment he admitted tripping her. The entire diner had heard it before. Now it was recorded. Ryan's confidence cracked. "You recorded me?" he snapped. Jack nodded calmly. "Along with the security cameras," Martha added quietly from behind the counter. Ryan turned toward her in shock. "You too?" Martha crossed her arms. "I've owned this diner 30 years. I don't tolerate cruelty." Outside, the distant wail of sirens began to approach. Ryan's friends suddenly looked far less amused. "You called the police?" Ryan asked nervously. Jack shook his head. "Not exactly." The diner door opened. 2 uniformed officers stepped inside. Behind them walked a tall man in a dark suit holding a badge. "Ryan Caldwell?" the man asked. Ryan swallowed. "Yeah, I'm with the district attorney's office. We received a report of assault and harassment." Ryan's face turned pale. Jack placed a steady hand on Emily's shoulder. "Turns out," he said quietly, "actions have consequences." As the officers moved forward, Ryan finally realized something terrifying. Money could buy influence, but it could not erase the truth once someone brave enough decided to stand up. And in that quiet diner, one Navy SEAL and his loyal K-9 had just done exactly that.